So, if you're serious about a multi cloud strategy, there's this one question that's just critical. It's not just about achieving Kubernetes portability, but how do you actually prove it? Well, today we're going to break down exactly how you can do that, especially when you're dealing with the major cloud providers.
All right, here it is. This is the question that probably keeps you architects up at night. Your app, it's running perfectly on EKS. I mean, it's just humming along. But then, what happens when the business says, okay, now we need to deploy it on GKE, or maybe on AKS? Is it really as portable as you think it is? Or are you about to step right into a minefield of these subtle, super costly problems? And that right there leads us to something I like to call the multi-cloud mirage. You know the one. It's that beautiful, appealing vision that promises everything will be seamless. But as a lot of us have probably found out the hard way, that vision can just, poof, dissolve the second it hits the real world of deployment. Look, I'm talking to you, the senior architect. You've been there, right? You've lived this. You totally get the incredible promise of going multi-cloud, but you're also painfully aware of all those little hidden pitfalls just waiting to derail the whole thing. You know the theory, but you've also seen the messy reality.
Remember the original promise of Kubernetes: write once, run anywhere. I mean, what a powerful idea. But the reality, especially in multi-cloud, often turns into this constant battle against all these tiny but super significant provider-specific quirks. We're talking about little differences in networking, in storage, in IAM integrations, and these are the things that cause all that unexpected behavior and, yep, those surprise bills. And for this, we're really focusing on the big three, right? Amazon's EKS, Microsoft's AKS, and Google's GKE. Don't get me wrong, each one of them is a fantastic service. But, and this is a big but, they are not identical clones of each other. The real key here is understanding and honestly mastering those differences. Okay, so if we're going to solve this thing effectively, we first need to get on the same page. We need a really solid definition. What are we actually solving for when we throw around the word portability? So let's get really precise here. Workload portability is not just about getting your pods to spin up. That's table stakes. No, it's the, and this word is key, the verified ability for your workload to deliver the exact same functionality, predictable performance, and similar cost efficiency no matter which of the big three it's on. That word verified, that's everything. In this right here, this gets to the absolute heart of it. You can take the exact same Kubernetes manifests and deploy them across all three clouds. Honestly, that's the easy part. The real challenge, the hard part, is systematically validating that they produce the same business results, the same operational results, everywhere, every time. So, how do we actually do this without hiring an entire army of engineers to manually test every single deployment? Well, that brings us right to the core solution, what we're calling the automated validator. Yeah, the answer here is definitely not just throwing more people at the problem. And it's not about doing endless error-prone manual tests. No way. The professional, the scalable solution is to build an automated portability validation pipeline and bake it right into your CI/CD process. It's really about engineering a system that gives you trust. So at a high level, this framework is actually pretty straightforward. First up, define your workload. One single set of manifests for all targets. Easy enough. Second, you build this into your CI/CD pipeline so it just triggers automatically. Third, the pipeline goes ahead and deploys that workload at the same time to your clusters on EKS, AKS, and GKE. And finally, and this is the really critical step, it automatically runs a whole suite of validation checks and reports back on any differences it finds. Okay, that sounds great, but what exactly should this automated pipeline even be checking for? That brings us to what I'd call your essential validation checklist. Your pipeline really has to check 4 key areas, systematically. Number 1, functionality. We're talking basic smoke tests, just to make sure the lights are on and the app is responding. Number 2, performance. You got to benchmark it against your SLOs for things like latency and throughput. 3, a really detailed cost analysis. And last but not least, number 4, configuration drift detection, so you can catch any of those weird, unexpected changes. Let's just take costs for a second as a really concrete example. An automated pipeline can spin up the workload, throw some simulated traffic at it, and then calculate the actual cost on each cloud for that exact task. And you might find something like what this chart is showing. You might discover that the very same job costs wildly different amounts because of little variances in storage pricing or network egress fees.
And that's something you absolutely need to know before you commit to a strategy.
When you actually implement a system like this, you gain something that's way more valuable than just technical portability. What you're really gaining is strategic control.
So how do you manage all this complexity? Well, it's not with a bunch of random scripts and manual checks all over the place. No, it's with one single unified system, a single automated framework that handles all the testing, the validation, and the reporting across every cloud you use. It basically becomes your engine for multi-cloud confidence.
And the win here? It's huge. You're not just crossing your fingers and hoping your app works everywhere anymore. You have validated functionality. You're not guessing about performance. It's now predictable. You have true cost control that's based on actual data, not just some back-of-the-napkin estimate. And maybe most importantly, you finally achieved the holy grail of multi-cloud. You have genuinely eliminated cloud lock-in. So I'll just leave you with this one final thought. Once you make that shift from just believing your workloads are portable to actually knowing they are, all thanks to an automated framework, what does that capability unlock for your business strategy? I mean, what new options does that suddenly put on the table? Now that's where things get really, really exciting.